Hi guys, welcome back to SSA Athletic, and in this video we're going to be reacting to Kelvin Kiptum's Chicago Marathon World Record. The closest we have ever got to going under 2 hours legally. If you like our videos, smash subscribe. Hit play.
And here we go. We've got Ruth Kipnitich has got her own pacemaker now. One of the pacemakers has dropped back to help. We have Stephen Hassan with her pacemaker now. Pace number 9, looking like a champion.
So Stefan Hassan's in this race. Her range is absolutely amazing. She can go anywhere from 800 meters right up to marathon, and now you normally do not see this. And the reason why you don't normally see this is that the energy systems and the speed you need to run for an 800 is going to be very much different to running a marathon. In fact, you're more likely to see 10,000 meter runners and marathoners becoming marathoners, because they don't necessarily have the speed to do the marathon. So generally, the older people get, the longer their distance goes.
Ruth Kipnitich at that point was with her, but now we're looking at around about 10 to 15 seconds ahead right now. We've got 30k mark now for these gentlemen, and they are running side by side.
Pacemakers are important in these kind of events because they can help shield the athletes behind, making it much more efficient for them to run, but also they're trying to run to the time. If someone's running fast in front of you, you keep with them. If you're running more efficiently behind them, using less energy, in theory you should run faster.
Let's see where we're at in relation to
Here's Kiptum wearing
the latest 5k,
fresh
where they
new
are.
night gear, I see.
A little bit. Here we
now
go.
that's quite an interesting point. He's actually possibly going to go through a suing process, possibly London, possibly New York. I'm not a legal expert here, but basically he was sponsored by another Chinese company, and then he turned up at the London Marathon with a night gear and night equipment on, even though he was under contract with another company. Oh, she's pushing it on. Her cadence is just increased as she wills that through.
Now
she's trying to relax back into it. The girl's not going to let her
we'd
through.
say the last K of the race now.
Interesting, we've got timers. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. You can see her arms, the girl on the black, how she's just getting greater cadence to try and get more speed through. This here is basically, what we're showing you here is basically the last quarter of the race. And it's interesting to see that she's trying to kick it on there rather than later. The other girl can effectively still sit in the girl's slipstream, so it's not over yet.
And here we go, they're coming up to the hill, and it looks like Cheruiyot is slowly making her move, although De Bruyne is also there now. She is looking good. She's passing her up the hill. The hill is brutally tough at this stage of the race.
To the other girl, longer pushes as she passes her up on the inside. Those longer pushes effectively creating more power. They're not very, it's about keeping your cadence. Quicker cadence can mean you go faster, but doesn't necessarily mean you will go faster. So as you're pushing down, you put in a lot of little pushes. You need to put big pushes in sometimes, and a lot of them.
This looks like she's got it. She is coming into the corner, and it's going to be a course record for the men's and women's race.
She's got greater rhythm compared to the other girl.
If you look at Cheruiyot, she hasn't given up yet. It's going to be a fight all the way to the finish as these two come in. De Bruyne, come on Cheruiyot, who is going to pass? It's going to be De Bruyne from Switzerland. Switzerland in both the men's and the women's and the course record.
Wasn't really much of a fight though at the end of the last 100.
Catherine De Bruyne from Switzerland.
Able to ease off.
Fantastic time.
Yeah. Catherine De Bruyne is also a 400 meter specialist, but she can do the marathon. They normally don't allow them to rip off the ribbon like that, because it can affect their, or potentially cause injury, affect their riding. So what they normally do is they hold it up, and at the last moment they put the ribbon down on the ground so that the wheelchair athletes can just simply ride over the top of it.
To go in the race, these guys are flying, and now we see Kiptum has decided, you know, I've had enough. I need to make my move. I want to try to break this world record. I'm going to pick it up and take it to the class here. So let's see where we are. He is flying. He's picked up the pace incredibly now, and it's going to be interesting to see what he can do.
So we're going to be talking a lot about the men's marathon time and talking about getting sub 2 hours. Now you might think, well, why are these disabled athletes gone faster? And that's because they're gliding. They're gliding on wheels, so it's a lot faster over a longer distance. 1 hour, 39 minutes. That's very quick time for these marathon guys. And the beauty is about marathon, you find their range, I mentioned about Sifan Hassan's range, but the range of these athletes is generally a lot further because of the gliding. Because there is no impact on the ground, they are not tiring themselves, they're not damaging the muscles more, so therefore they can recover quicker. And because they can recover quicker, their ranges of distances can be greater.
Jesus, it means that he has really quickened the pace now, and we saw just then, I think.
So, what Kelvin Kiptum does compared to other marathon runners, if we were to show you on the screen now what happens when Eliud Kipchoge, probably his greatest rival or the most likely person to break 2 hours until Kiptum came on the scene, is that we generally have a midline average point. And that midline average point, most of them are slightly above that average point in terms of their marathon running. They then dip down as the race goes on before putting on 2 giant spurts of negative splits. Kelvin Kiptum does the opposite. He's well below that line, average line, and then suddenly for the last quarter of the race just absolutely hammers it.
Kelvin Kiptum is thought to be taking over the reins of men's marathon running from Kipchoge, and it'll be interesting to see what his time will be here now. I can tell you right now that this next 5k, this last 5k, he has picked up the pace and left Mateko in his wake, and it'll be interesting to see what that 35k mark will be. At the 30k mark, we've now got results from Abdi and Korea and Kipruto. Those guys are all running together still, but they are over.
Look behind, I won't even bother at this point, he's too far. I mean, look, he looks behind once, that's good, he knows that the guy's not there, run on. I've noticed with his running style, very, very quick, very, very efficient running style. So he's coming down, hitting down straight in the line, pronation slightly to the side, pushing off and rotating forward onto his big toe, making sure he gets the most amount of power per each stride. He has a very high back lift compared to some of the other athletes, probably not as high the back lift, but it's a very efficient running technique. Arms are driving, but they're nice and tucked in, not wasting too much energy. He's going to go in sprint mode possibly. He's running more like a 1500 metre runner here rather than a marathon runner. Normally they do not have this speed. They normally don't run like that. They normally run, keep it in nice and relaxed at the end because they haven't got the speed, and that's the reason why they do in the marathon, because they can hold that for a very long period of time. Oh, that's just so far behind. They're not even in the same ballpark. Not even the same league.
The charge. Look, when you look at him, you don't think he's running so fast, but when you see the guy filming him on the side, running next to him, you know by the look of that he is really, really powerhousing.
He's just ahead on his own. Okay, so this guy's starting to rocking a bit. Kiptum needs to keep that form going. At the moment he's kind of doing this. Be nice and relaxed. Keep your form going.
He's at now world record pace, ladies and gentlemen. After that fast picking up, he is on world record pace and he is looking like he is going to do it. If he can keep this pace up, if he can keep pushing.
So it's interesting you mentioned about course records and times, and something has to be said really about the shoes they are using. In terms of the shoes, over the years we've developed what they call super shoes that have carbon fibre plates. Nike's generally seen as the fastest, but let's face it, everyone's kind of catching up at this point. And that's probably one of the reasons why Kelvin Kiptum decided to wear Nike clothing, and that's why he's in a spot of bother financially and legally. But generally, these shoes effectively impact the ground and give you greater force production off the ground, at least up to probably 2, maybe 4%. That's a lot. Imagine that on every single stride. You're getting 4% greater push, saving about 2% worth of energy. You're going to have more in the tank by the end of the race as well, meaning you can run faster as well. And not only that, the shoes are making you run faster.
He is on fire. We've seen course records on both the men's and women's wheelchair events. We are about to see definitely a course record, but maybe even a world record in the men's race now as well. You are watching history here, ladies and gentlemen. This is something we all will remember. Let's watch this man, this magnificent power of running right now. Amazing 5k split between 30 and 35k.
So he's trying to push on a little bit harder, possibly. He's trying to keep that pace going. When the energy reserves run out, you're having to rely on your form. You can't possibly go any faster, but you can potentially lose it. So by keeping your form, you should be able to keep that speed going. By losing the form, you're wasting energy, you're making it harder, you're less aerodynamic, less efficient running. Here we go in the drink station. Very good changeover. Quick, one off, go. No stutter, just literally run, hand out, grab it. Few sips from the side, drinking in between every breath to make sure you're getting that liquid inside you. Once you take 2, 3, maybe 4, probably a bit too much, you then just dunk it somewhere. And litter. The only time you're allowed to litter is during a marathon. I am being facetious here, guys.
Corner up the hill. Is the hill gonna slow this superhuman down?
We're on the 1:59 spot here with a minute to go. So this is a tricky part, attacking hills. So attacking the hill, you kind of have to use the momentum off a hill. If you're going down a hill and up a hill, it's even easier. But when it comes to running, normally, you kind of have to attack the hill. You're not sprinting up the hill, but you're attacking the hill. Normally you come in, arms a little bit short, use the legs to come off, drive off the hill, trying to keep those legs moving as you do so. The problem with this race here is that you come around the bend, so it's going to slow you down slightly, and then you've got a sprint up a hill to finish off with. So that information and that advice of trying to keep it nice and tidy doesn't make any sense, because the finish line is in the distance. You've got something there you have to sprint. Now it depends on how steep that hill is. If it's super steep, you're going to have to obviously dig in a little bit more. If it's quite a narrow hill, the advice of trying to keep everything tidy and going up doesn't really make any sense. You might as well just run normally.
Of marathon distance running. Kenyan
yes, come on. What are you going to get? 1:59. How close are you going to get to that 2 hour spot?
Meters to go. We are about to see close to 2 hours and
come on.
30 seconds for this event.
Come on.
Hill into the finish line. We've got 200 meters to go almost as he turns the corner here. And it hasn't 300 meters to go now. Let's go.
Help him out.
Looking like a boss.
An official. That's a lovely. Look at that around the bridge. Here we go, round the bend, on the flat.
By Kelvin Kiptum,
so he comes round. He's proper going for it now. He's hammering. Let's go.
200 meters
Come on,
to go.
official, get out of the way.
200 meters to go for an amazing race. Incredible.
Here he goes. Here he goes. Here we go.
Amazing to
Fourth.
see
That's
what his
still a lovely
second
form
half
for a
was.
distance runner.
Is
Could
he
have been a bit
gonna
more
make
sprinty,
2
but that's
hours
okay.
and 30 seconds.
He celebrates to the crowd.
He is on fire, ladies and
Doing a
gentlemen. He's
Kipchoge.
100 meters to go. Can
He's not
he
gonna
get
get under 2 hours
under
doing
2
that.
hours and 40 seconds? He's crushed the world record, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing finish. Incredible.
He can beat that again, I reckon, from his own point of view. Here you go, hugs the coach.
I believe. Is amazing. 2 hours and 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. 2 hours and 30 seconds. It's almost hard to believe. It is faster than 2 minutes and 50 seconds for the marathon.
I'll be so scared to do that in case I got DQ'd. Running back across the line and then trying... Oh, while the race is still on.
Incredible.
We have yet another world record set here today. Kelvin Kiptum Cheruiyot.
And so rightly she's allowed to be. At the 35k mark, she had a lead of about 30 seconds from Ruth Kipner.
So here we are, we're now looking back at Sifan Hassan's race. Currently the elite runner coming in at 2 hours, 6 minutes, 49, 50 seconds. Jeez, arms are a little bit here, the form's kind of going a little bit. Kind of almost fighting herself as she runs. She needs to keep it nice and relaxed at this point. Leg stride shortened slightly a little bit disappointing. The head's going around, bobbing up and down like Paula Radcliffe. That ain't good. That's going to mean you're going to waste energy. It means you're going to slow runner. You're going to run slow overall.
By 35 seconds now at the 40k mark. Unless her legs fall off, she is about to break the course record, win the $150,000 US, but she is looking around, she is tired.
Right, there's a technique to looking behind. You don't want to look behind when you're running, and the reason being is pretty simple. But if I turn my body around, the motion that's going forward is now being twisted aside. So I'm not running efficiently. Think of it like a rotation. Your body rotates like that as you run forwards. So that motion effectively helps you keep you straight and narrow down the line. When we're teaching athletes to run, so a lot of them end up going same leg, same arm, and that forces them to go side to side or rotate like that, which is lost energy, lost motion, going in the wrong direction. When you're looking, it should only be a quick look, analyse, then go. I don't know why she is looking around, because there is no one there. Some lady in orange crossed the track, but that's not any relevance to you. You should focus on what you are doing at that present moment in time. There is no one with her. She knows this. She's been running on her own for about the last 30 minutes. By turning her head, and brings our entire body round, so instead of the momentum going forwards, and our legs generally want to follow what our torso is doing, instead what it is, we're looking behind, we're not running as fast. So when we do it, you just want to turn your head slightly and go forward, but most of the time when you're running, you want to be looking forward.
We've got less than 800 meters to go very, very shortly. We're about to see, and we're coming up to the hill, the hard hill, the brutal hill at this part of the race that's so close to the finish, but you get to feel the sting in your legs. I've run this hill a few times. It is brutal, it is painful, but it is also wonderful when you turn the corner and you can see the finish line, and Sifan Hassan is showing that she is also not just good at the 1500 meters, where she got bronze this year at the World Champs.
There we go, fighting up that hill, trying to drive on, trying to push on over that little bit of a bump. Now it flattens up over the top of the bridge.
She is not just best at
gonna
the
have to turn at
5,000
some point.
meters
I think
at
the
the World
energy's
Champs.
slightly going.
She
It's
is
a bit
also
long for
the
her, to be
marathon
fair.
London
normally does
Marathon champion
1500
in
meters,
2023, and
so
she's
do a
about to
marathon.
have the
Needs
course
a little bit
record
of
and
overspeed
the
training.
second
Do a bit of
fastest
winter. There we
time
go, there's
ever
the sprint
by
technique. Arms pumping back, that's fantastic. Driving back from that shoulder, knees coming up. Fantastic sprint technique. Here she goes. Will she break the course record?
a woman over the marathon distance in
the grimacing on the
Chicago
face
today
is hard.
in
Yes, you gotta
near
keep it going. Keep that
perfect
face relaxed.
running
Keep everything
conditions.
relaxed.
Incredible finish here.
There we go, she done it.
And here we go, she's showing us
Unlike Kiptum, she looks knackered.
She's a huge track star.
as the announcer says, she's a
That's
huge
pretty
track
good.
star.
13:38 course record. It's amazing
And
that
she
she's
is
able
definitely
to be one of
under
the best marathon runners
the
in the world.
course record.
Best marathon runner in the world when this is not her event. Crazy. Utterly crazy.
Fantastic time. Amazing time here.
Where you feel tired in the race ultimately depends on your conditioning and the type of race you're running. You could potentially run the entire race and not feel tired. You could run the entire race and feel tired. You can run the race slowly, feel tired. You can run the race very fast. It also depends on conditions as well. So, yeah, it's possible you can still tired at that point in the race, but to be honest with you, how good is one's training? Are you fit enough to do